everyone, how's it going? As you can tell, I'm not in California right now. I'm actually here in India. I'm in Jaipur. I'm going to be exploring Rajasthan for the next probably 10 days or so with my friend P Arts. If you guys watched earlier this year in the Lofoten Islands in Norway, I met P there, and he's a really talented photographer, and he is going to be doing a project here for his book, and I tagged along with him to document the story. In addition to that, I kind of wanted to document some stuff of my own, and I wanted to talk a lot about some of the gear and the behind the scenes type stuff that go on in a shoot like this. So if you guys remember back a couple years ago, I have been to India before, though I will say I feel like my filmmaking experience has grown a lot since then. Some of the content I was creating, I just felt like, for me, I always had this tough challenge between creating vlogs or creating cinematic looking content. And I love the storytelling side and the personality driven stuff of YouTube, and I really felt like that's what makes YouTube important and powerful. But at the same time, I really liked the cinematic stuff I'd see on Vimeo, so I always had this really difficult situation of going in between having my camera like a tight lens on it or a wide angle lens, and it was always this difficult debate. So earlier this year, the GoPro Hero 7 Black came out, and I heard pretty good things about it. I used to use GoPro a lot, and I probably stopped using it maybe 2 years ago. I feel like I had one in my bag, but I just never ended up using it. I've heard pretty good things about the Hero 7 Black, so I purchased it. Over the last couple days, I've actually been using it to film a lot of stuff, and I have to say that I'm super, super impressed. The stabilization in the new GoPro is incredible, and what I really like about it is the fact that it's something I can use to capture wide-angle content, both for my Instagram story and for my channel, and I don't have to utilize my camera. So I'm shooting right now with the A7 III, and I've been using the Sony 55mm a lot for a lot of my stuff lately. I love that focal length, it's really cinematic. And the last couple days, this has just been super, super nice to have. So it got me thinking, what if I created a GoPro Hero 7 Black vlogging setup? Something really lightweight, something small, something that doesn't make me look awkward in public. I don't want to walk around in public with a GorillaPod. Like, I feel like you see those people and you're like, right away, like, oh God, this guy's like Casey Neistat, and it's just like cringe. I didn't want to do that, and I don't want to do that. I've always wanted to be like as small and low profile as possible. So I decided to put together a vlogging setup. So this is kind of what I came up with. So this is a metal cage that I got on Amazon for about $18. It's it says Hero 7 on the front. 18 US dollars, it wasn't that much. It actually has a filter thread on the front and an UV filter, which is pretty cool, so it can protect the camera. The GoPro Hero 7 Black slides right into the back of this super easily, and I just tighten this little knob on the side, and that's it. It's in this little cage. Currently, I have the Rode Video Micro connected because one thing about the Hero 7 Black, unfortunately, this is a huge bummer, the audio is not that good. Jaipur is like the classic India you guys see. Temples, deserts, camels, elephants. It's an incredible place, and I think it's probably one of the most popular places tourists go when they visit India. So this is what the audio sounds like without the Rode Video Micro plugged in. From my tests, I found that it wasn't very good. I probably wouldn't recommend it, but this is what it sounds like if you guys were curious. That being said, I decided to hook up my Rode Video Micro because this little metal housing has a little cold shoe mount on top. I hooked that up, and unfortunately had to buy a $50 adapter, which I think is crazy from GoPro. I wish I could have just plugged this right in the side. I got the $50 adapter, and now it's on here just like that. Yeah. So it's kind of a small setup. One thing I did notice when I put it together, if you leave the windscreen on, it's actually in the frame of the shot. So I took the windscreen off the microphone. It's probably not great, but I've seen these other contraptions where people put like big, huge like razors on the top of this to get it off the camera. And again, I don't know, I just want it to be small. And I'm not sure if you can buy this handle separately, but this was from a GoPro Fusion that I bought. The reason I like it is because the handle's really small. It also, you can twist and it turns into a tripod, which is pretty cool. So I can set up the camera off to the side if I'm filming or shooting something or in a restaurant, and I can film. And it's pretty low key, out of the way. Yeah, you can lower it down too. I mean, that's pretty small and out of the way. So yeah, I mean, over the last couple days, I'll reel some footage right now. You guys can check it out. I've done some vlogging and some tests, and I really like this. The biggest thing I will say is the stabilization is crazy. It's black magic. I'm super impressive. I've seen all the campaigns saying the gimbal is dead. I don't know if that's necessarily true because this is, from what I've seen, software stabilization, but I will say, wow, Stabilization is incredible. I'm gonna roll a few clips now and you guys can check out the last couple days of me here in Jaipur, checking out the Hero 7 Black. Alright guys, so I'm currently in India. I'll be here for the next 11 days or so. This morning we've been exploring Rajasthan, Jaipur in particular, the capital. We're exploring the streets right now, looking for some good shots. There comes the sun.
Can you come a little bit closer? Can you stand here?
How's this?
Hey. So no smiling. He's like, yeah. Baba Hotel.
We can go for the view, man. Isn't that nice?
How many times do you see this? All right. India, man. All right, we've woken up super early here out in the middle of the desert. So one of the features that I really like about the Hero 7 Black is the fact that there's a massive helicopter overhead. Excellent. Creating content in India, it's just noises all the time. Perfect, sick. So one of the things I really like about the Hero 7 Black is the time warp mode as well. That's another thing I've used a lot. It smooths out the shot and it creates a time lapse. You can kind of do hyperlapses, which I've experimented with a little bit, but I just feel like I don't have the patience to do hyperlapses. And fortunately, the Hero 7 Black has this pretty cool feature called time warp. So I've played around with that a little bit and I really, really like it. It's a really solid option. The whole package together is probably $500, which I think is incredible. And I don't need, shallow depth of field is great, but I'd rather have my A7 III on me and able to get cinematic cool shots and not sacrifice using that camera with a 16-35 on it. I did that in a lot of other vlog series. I mean, my Japan content, my India content, everything was shot on a 16-35 and I feel like I missed out on so much. So I'm currently using 24 frames a second, 2.7K, and I'm shooting in the linear field of view. I think that the super view and the other modes, it looks just too GoPro-y for me. So I love the fact that they have the linear mode built into the GoPro now. So all my vlogging and stuff was all shot in the linear mode, which yeah, looks really, really good. Less like a GoPro, like I said. The number one thing about GoPro or about shooting on your Sony or anything is ISO. The higher the ISO gets, the lower the quality gets. And I think that's super important on the GoPro. If you turn on ProTune and you set the max ISO to 100, the downside is you can only shoot during the day for the most part, but the upside is that the quality will always be performing at its peak. So I shoot in max ISO 100. I set the white balance to 5500. Stabilization is turned on, of course. For color, I set it to GoPro color. I've set it to flat before, and I feel like a lot of times I can't quite recover as much of the saturation and things that I want. I also am pairing it up against my Sony A7 III, which I shoot in Cine 4 mode, so you know, it's too much of a drastic difference to go between the flat color profile and the Cine 4, so I just shoot in GoPro color. And the other reason I shoot in GoPro color is because I shoot a lot of stuff vertically like this. If I actually film like this and press record, there's an Instagram story mode on the new GoPro Hero 7 that allows me to create stuff vertically, which I can then transfer to my phone very quickly and upload to my Instagram story and get a new perspective. Sometimes for that, I'll actually switch back to the super view mode, so I'll get a lot in the shot, and I feel like when people see my Instagram stories, they're like, what? How are you doing that? What's that camera angle? Are you using a weird little cheap lens filter from eBay? No, I'm just using my GoPro and I'm recording vertically using the GoPro mode. Super little handy feature, and love that about this. So that's another great reason to check out the Hero 7. All right guys, with that, I am gonna pack my bag up and we are heading out on a sunset shoot. I think later today we're traveling to a different city. I'll keep shooting stuff throughout the rest of the trip on this, and yeah, it's gonna be a good setup. You'll probably see this angle and this little device used throughout a lot of my content going forward. Hope you guys are great, and remember to like and subscribe because I have a lot more content from India coming and I can't wait to share it with you guys. It's hot. It's so hot right now. So if you guys have been watching for a little while, you'll remember. Oh, it's so hot. Oh my God, India. I'm gonna have to put my hat on like this.